Hi there. If we don't know each other, I'm Claire. You can find me at clairemckinnon.com. And this is a short video about why the first 6 months and sometimes longer of a new promotion can feel so tough. And this is a subject close to my heart because my own experience as I moved through my leadership career was that I worked hard for each promotion that I made. And then when I got there, often it would just feel all-consuming. It would feel like I had to throw everything at work. I was barely seeing my family. I was having to work really hard. It was like kind of running up an escalator that was actually moving down. And I know I'm not the only one. I work with a lot of newly promoted leaders, and this is something that comes up a lot. And I guess this is a video I'm making for them, for you, if this has been your experience, and for my younger self, I could have done with knowing this. So what's happening when we move into these bigger opportunities, these opportunities that are stretching us, is that there are parts of us that are getting activated. Now, we are built for survival, and there are parts of us, there are strategies that are designed to keep us safe, that are designed to keep us alive, and they are literally getting activated as we move into these bigger opportunities because they perceive we are in some kind of danger. And I'm really boiling this down here. So you may be aware that you have certain patterns, certain default patterns. For example, I know that one of my defaults, if I don't keep a close eye on it, is that I can be very prone to caring a little bit too much about what other people think. This kind of pleasing part of me. There's also part of me that can go into a mode of kind of proving. So these are useful in some situations. They help us get things done. They help us build relationships. But when they go into overdrive, they become less helpful. And when we go into a new job, a bigger job, of course, there's lots of things that are new. There are lots of new people, new boss, new colleagues, new teams to lead, new things we need to get our head around. And these parts of us are getting activated. And it can be that they go into overdrive and kind of take us over. And for me, what that looked like was that when I went into a new role, because I wasn't very aware of this stuff at this point, I would kind of say yes to things far too quickly because this part of me wanted to kind of build those good relationships and be really, really, really helpful. But actually that wasn't that helpful in the long run because it meant I was saying yes to things that actually, if I'd just been a bit more considered, I might have made a different decision about. It meant that I didn't ask for the flexibility that I needed to be able to kind of work in a healthy way as a full-time working mum. I assumed there was one role I moved into in the latter part of my in-house leadership career. What I assumed it wasn't okay for me to ask for that. And when I finally did, my boss was like, yeah, sure. For all of that time, I'd made my life so much more difficult than it needed to be. Another way that this played out was that I didn't tackle difficult performance conversations sooner enough with my team. I held back. This part of me that wanted, to get on with my team was kind of stopping me from really stepping forward. It was afraid of me getting into conflict. So what these patterns are is unique for all of us, but just actually knowing that when we go into these bigger situations that they can get activated, I think is a useful thing to bear in mind. And I go into more detail on this topic and some of the things you can actually do to calm some of this in the workshop I'm running at the moment. It's called Your Inside Out Development Plan. There's no charge, and I go into this whole philosophy in more detail. You can also head on over to my website, check out my philosophy page on there. It talks a little more about this and what I see some of the answers are to creating more ease as we move into these bigger jobs. So I hope that's been helpful, and I hope that I see you really soon.